Hello everyone, welcome back to Cool Rocko. We have Thinko working on some research, and one of the first things I want to do is maximize the research output, and I can do that by building a laboratory. I'll need a light source, hence what Thinko is researching is light source. So laboratory is a room. I'm going to need to block that off with a door. I'm going to choose this area right here for my laboratory. Got a light source in existence. So from this point on, I'm no longer going to do any research outside of the laboratory. If you do research inside a laboratory, you get a bonus. There's also a bonus for having a light source, which is why I chose to put it right there next to this light source at this location. But we're going to move the future research station down here. Now, you need 2 research buildings for a laboratory and a light source. I'm going to put a light source right here. And in the future, I'm going to have automated lights, but we don't have that technology just yet, so we'll live with the fact that we just had this simple light. So that needs to be powered, and of course the research stations themselves need to be powered. I'm just going to power one of them. One of them's technically just there to form the room, but I think I was the only one that is really smart enough to very efficiently do some research. That door doesn't need to be closed. The other thing I want to do, and this will be a little bit later, is store some water down here, because this is eventually going to be a supercomputer. And what I'd like to do, one of the inputs to a supercomputer is water. I guess that's to keep it cool. But I have a water source over here, and I don't want dupes to go back and forth having to take water from here, so I'd rather pump the water here and have it loaded into this future supercomputer. So Diggo has been busy at night. They're on a different schedule than the other dupes. We now have a laboratory created, and I can actually do some research once again. And I'm going to research buildings to make a great hall. We're going to start with a mess. We'll need a mess table to do that, so we'll start with that. Think we'll get busy when they wake up. Now, one of the inputs to the research station is dirt. I figured, why not store dirt right next to it, just to make it convenient. While Thinko is doing some research for mess tables, I need a decision where I'm going to put that, and that's going to be mess hall, eventually great hall right here. But I can see that I'm going to have the sand collapse down if that happens, so I'm going to fill this in before I get down there, and once the dupes have that, we'll create the floor for our future great hall, putting the door right here and here. Just looking at this printing pod is 0.4 cycles to the next dupe, so it would be nice if we had a cot ready for them. We place that right there at high priority, and we'll print that dupe as soon as they're available, because the more duplicates we have, the quicker things will be built. Research was created thanks to Thinko, which is able to research really quickly because they're very strong with research skills. But I don't have this room carved out just yet, so we'll have to wait a little bit longer, but we can continue on some research items we'll need for the Great Hall, one of which is this here water cooler. We already have a decorative item, and we pretty much have all, once we have that, we'll have all the tech to create a Great Hall. So the printing pod is now available. I'm going to choose a blueprint. Not sure I'm happy with any of these dupes. I'm looking for a dupe that's interested in ranching for future food production. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually save the game. I will call this new dupe. I will reload it. There is a mod for your game that makes the ability just to click on this instead of having to reload. I'm not a fan of mods myself, but if you do like mods, that is definitely something you would want to check out, just because there's lots of loading in between of selecting the dupe. But I'm not going to make you watch this. I'll be back when I'm going to do my choice. So I have selected this dupe here. I want someone has strong ranching skills. They also have researching skills. I don't necessarily need someone else to do researching, but that does mean their skill leveling is extra 30% So that's not necessarily a bad thing. Welcome to the Team Eggo. Call them that because they'll be working on hugging some eggs at some point soon in this game. So we're just starting to have this area dug out. I'm just going to create a ladder here to make it easier for the dupes to get across there. This door does not need to be closed. We just need to make sure these doors are closed so that the light shine bugs don't get over here. But we're now ready to place some mess tables. We've got 4 dupes. I'll even plan to have 6. And I'm going to do the same thing with the cots. Expand that over here. And very soon we should have a mess hall. And we'll be able to upgrade that to a great hall pretty soon after that. After the first mess table is put in, we have a mess hall. In order to make this a great hall, we just need to make it size 32. That shouldn't be too difficult. And the other thing is we need to have a recreation building, such as a water cooler. Place that at the far end. We also need to have a decoration item that can be easily done with a flower pot. Why don't we put in a blue one? Since I've got that, but it doesn't have to be the blue one. That's just because that's one of the newer items I got from this printing pod up there. While we're working on the Great Hall, I'm going to do some research on a water pump. And the reason for that is I just want to make it more efficient, as I mentioned earlier, to take water from here over here. I'd rather pump it to this location and have the dupes pick it up with a water pitcher pump. And we eventually get a computer at this location. So there is a water cooler, and we've got a dreamy retro flower pot. We need to actually put some sort of plant, increase the decoration value in order for that to qualify for this to actually be a great hall. But that's pretty simple for us to be able to achieve. We also have the research now for a pump. I'm going to put that right here. That's going to be powered, so we'll need a wire that goes from our line all the way over to the pump. And we'll want to take a pipe that's going to take water from this location and send it to our storage location within the laboratory. That's right here, and we'll dump that out. So that when we have our supercomputer, dupes won't have to go too far. That also is going to allow dupes to fill this up, so maybe I'll put in 2 of these. I have the dupes set up to go in breaks of 2, so in theory I shouldn't need more than 2 of them. I do want some extra outhouses, so that if one of these becomes backed up, the dupes still have another option while these are being cleared out. So let's check this out. Do we have a great haul? We do. That's given a +6 to morale bonus every time the dupes eat here. Awesome. While the dupes are putting in the wire and the piping here, I'm going to get Thinko to continue doing some research since they're so good at that. Let's bring in a jumbo battery. Stores a little more power than this regular battery. Thinko has completed the research on jumbo battery. I have a plan for this, so the idea is I want to have 2 manual generators here. One here and one here, a station to be able to enhance them here. We'll see that in a future episode. Just kind of thinking about where I want this jumbo battery to sit, so I'm happy with that right there. Looks like we'll have our water in here pretty soon, so why don't we research this supercomputer? That's right there. I don't have a dupe that can actually use it at the moment, but that doesn't matter. We'll have that in very soon. Now, I see that this light is on all the time. I have 2 options. One, I can either just wait until I have automation turn them on and off, but when Thinko is gone, I can cut that line. I might do that just to show that I can do that at some point. Thinko has just completed research on a supercomputer, so we'll put that in. This is also probably a bit more of micromanagement. I can cut this line. I actually might wait. I think they get a bonus when there's a light source when they're construction and building, so I'll wait for that to be in place. Notice I left 3 tiles here because I know the supercomputer is 3 tiles wide, where the research station is only 2. So Digo is, yeah, they're getting a lit workspace. So I'll leave that light on for the time being, and then we'll build a supercomputer right here. That needs to be powered up, so let's get a wire in there. And when Thinko gets an upgrade, they'll be able to use the supercomputer to do some more advanced research. See, the pump has turned on, so that's sending some water down here to be stored next to the supercomputer. Just while I think about it, actually might as well set these directions. That dupes only wash their hands on the way out. Kind of makes sense, right? So with that, we should have our laboratory status reset. We've got water going into it. We've got our Great Hall. I'm going to say that's success for this particular episode. Maybe I'll just finish off choosing the next research item, which I think will be the grooming station, which is something that we'll put in probably in the next episode. Until then, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in a future episode where we'll expand this space and find a source for food.